Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. This is Short and Sweet, Episode 2. I am your host, David Shorten. And I have to say, I can't take credit for the name of this podcast. It was my friend Phil who came up with that. He's a smart guy. Let's face it, I'm not that clever. So thanks, Phil. And another cool thing about Phil, let me tell you, is that he designed an app that is a super cool app. It's called UGood. UGUUD. And what it is, I've got it here on my phone. This is why I'm looking at my phone. It is an event organizing app, but specifically for events that are really like short notice, like either the next day or the day of, or even the moment of. So say you're like, I want to go for beer right now. You would create the event. You would say beer. You would say at next door pub, maybe. And then you would pick from your contacts everyone who you want to come. They would receive a text message. They don't even need to have the app. They get a text message asking them, do you want to meet here at this time? And it's, you good? You good for that? That's kind of how it is. Again, UGUUD. They answer yes or no, and it lets the event organizer know if they're good, and then you have a party. And it's just so much easier than the stupid Facebook event things. So check that out if you're in North America. UGood. I've got cool friends, let me tell you. And as usual, we will do a quick shout out for Action Sport Physio. So if you're doing sports, you get injured a lot, you need lots of therapy, Action Sport Physio. If you're in the Montreal area, 3 locations in Montreal, one in Laval, one in Longueuil area, somewhere like that. And you're probably like, wow, is this guy getting sponsored by programs? No, he's not. I don't get sponsored, but I am trying to marry into the family, so trying to get some brownie points that way, see if it works. So I read an article. It was a Cosmopolitan article that I accidentally saw. Actually, I didn't actually read it. I just skimmed it. But it was called 11 Signs He Thinks You'll Be Together Forever. And the first thing I noticed was that buying a ring wasn't on it. So that gives you a bit of an idea of how much attention you should pay to Cosmopolitan. Yeah, ladies, just so you know, the only real way to know if he's serious is the old ring. Hate to break it to you. There's no new cool ways. It's just that. It's still the good old proposal. So, first topic today is actually going to be education. I found out recently that one of my old high school teachers got fired. Asked to resign. He was asked to resign. This guy was a boss. I freaking love this guy. And I wasn't even a good student. Seriously, I wasn't a good student in high school. I was a brat. He had to reprimand me all the time. But even I, after the fact, was able to realize that this was a teacher, an experienced teacher, who did a really great job. I have 2 older siblings. We all 3 of us had him. All 3 of us are like quite fond of him. So I was reading the articles that were being written about, why this guy was asked to resign. And basically it came down to old school methods. Old school teaching methods. So you're thinking like, what, did he like hit kids with rulers? No, he didn't do that. This is my favorite. This is my favorite quote from one of the articles. And if you're sensitive to kind of like dark subject matter, you might want to tune out, because this is really kind of heart-wrenching stuff, really, really abusive stuff. So I'll give you a moment to pick a different stream if you think you're not going to be able to handle this. But here we go. In their statements, students said that if they pronounced a French word incorrectly, Peltier would sometimes make them read sentences over and over in front of the class until he was satisfied. But what could satisfy this man? Truly, what could satisfy such a cruel human being who would correct his students in public, in front of the class? Isn't that the most cruel thing that you've ever heard? So I'm reading this and I'm like, I mean, to be fair, there was some other stuff that was like maybe a bit sketch. Like, apparently he made a short kid stand on his desk to speak. Which, I don't know. It sounds cruel. It sounds hilarious too. But the thing is that you don't have any context. You don't have any context for like, you know, what the relationship was between the teacher and the student. Because like everyone's had a teacher who teases them when they have kind of like that kind of relationship where you can do that, right? So he did that. He apparently wrote a due date on someone's forehead so that they wouldn't forget. Oh, frick. I just love this guy. Seriously. I'm reading these things that are supposed to like make him look bad, but it's just making me love him more. So anyway, but like in reality, it's sad, right? Because this guy lost his job, you know? He's been teaching for over 20 years. And this is the statement from the public school board chair. She said, this issue is a very unfortunate situation, but she believes in the process and the system. I appreciate it when a teacher will stand up. This is a quote, sorry. I appreciate it when a teacher will stand up and take responsibility and accountability for what they have done, unquote. So here's my question. She believes in the process and the system. But the thing is that they claim that complaints about this teacher went back like his whole career. Like they went back all 20 years. So you could take that and you could say, wow, well, he was really terrible. How come he didn't get fired like right off the bat? Or I think the more logical thing to take away from it is, where the heck was the school board? Where was the discipline? Where was the communication between the parents and the teacher, between the school board and the teacher? You know, like she just dumps all the blame right on the teacher. Oh, it's, you know, like, I believe in the process and the system that allows, you know, basically teachers to get fired. But the thing is, that's not what you want. You know, what you want is a school board that says to a teacher who has been complained about, who says to them, look, we're getting some complaints about a specific action, and we want you to stop doing this. Here are some ideas of what you could do instead, you know, different kinds of discipline. But that obviously didn't happen. So then when some big thing comes up, they just go back all 20 years and take every complaint that's ever been made against him and said, well, this is why we should ask you to resign. Is that really fair? And the reason why this is a big deal, in my opinion, is because of the stats of teacher burnout. I actually know several people who have been teachers who have gone through horrible things. You know, they're being bullied by parents, they're being bullied by their administrators, they have to work extra hours, and people have gone like, you know, they go on stress leave because they can't even handle it, right? And this is happening like widely. So there's an article. I'm going to put this article in the description, both on YouTube and on Soundcloud. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the education system, the public education system. And we're live on Periscope, but we are also going to be on YouTube and SoundCloud after. So if you miss it, you can tune in later, but you should follow, because then you'll never miss all the interesting discussion we're going to have. Anyway, so this article, I'm gonna post it on those things, on those platforms, and this is what it says. Here are some stats about teacher teacher burnout and teachers quitting. Usually from bullying from parents, false accusations from students, lack of merit-based pay, overwhelming workloads. Those are just naming a few. So those are some reasons that teachers cite quitting their jobs or transferring districts or something like that. And here's this is a statistic that is, in this case, it is specific to Alberta, Canada, but it looks from what I've seen, it's very similar in the States and in other parts of Canada as well. 40% of teachers leave or transfer before 5 years of teaching. So what that means, teachers need more love and income. I'm getting comments on Periscope. Amen, brother or sister. Sorry, I don't know who it is. Yes, teachers need more support, and they need... Here's the other thing. One comment that was... One observation that's been made pretty widely is that school is now replacing the family. You know, you have parents that aren't doing such a great job, and we're expecting them to kind of pick up the slack. We're expecting the teachers to pick up the slack for the parents. So this means that needy kids are going to school, they're not getting what they need at home, and so they're trying to get it from the teachers. And the teachers are forced to take on this role that they're really not equipped for. They're not trained for, they're not paid for it. You know, the pays, as far as I know, I don't know what's if teachers' wages are going up. I kind of doubt it with all the strikes that you hear about. But this is bad stuff, and this is what it comes down to for me. Because you want your kids to have a good education, right? So by bullying our teachers and by disrespecting them the way that we are, by not appreciating their work, by demanding too much of them, are we not devaluing education? For instance, the example that I read where this article cites a teacher correcting students in front of the class as this abusive thing. The fact that he would make them repeat something over and over until they got it right. We got a substitute teacher in the room. All parents should spend time teaching a class. Yeah, that'd be an interesting experiment. I totally agree. That would be maybe learn a thing or two about how hard it is to be a teacher. I have no clue. I've never had to do that. I've counseled at summer camps. That's all, and even that is probably more than I can handle. So here's the thing: if you put teachers in a cage wherein them fulfilling their role of being a teacher is now considered abusive, what is that education worth now? It's not. You're devaluing it. You're making the education of less quality because it's less important to you than your kids feeling good. But that's your job as a parent, right? So we end up either we pay to send our kids to school, and they get nothing out of it. So anyway, something to think about, right? So are we devaluing our public servants in this way, and what effect is that having on the education and the well-being of our children? So that's it for the first topic. Someone's telling me to sing. What a punk. You think you can just tell me to sing like I'm just gonna obey your every whim? You think that's how it works around here? Well, lucky for you, it does. Sorry, I'm just getting a tempo. Yeah, let's do it. Ready? We good? I gotta get the beat. It's gonna take me a while to get the beat established. Sexy. Oh, screwed that up, sorry. Can you guess what song this is gonna be, guys? Here's a little song I wrote. You might wanna sing it note for note. Don't worry, be happy. In every life we have some trouble. When you worry, you make it double. Don't worry, be happy. Ain't got no place to lay your head. Somebody came and took your bed. Don't worry, be happy. The landlord says your rent is late. He may have to litigate. Don't worry, be happy. Ain't got no cash, ain't got no style, ain't got no gal to make you smile. Don't worry, be happy. Listen to what I say, 'cause when you worry your face will frown, and that will bring everybody down. Don't worry, be happy now. Don't worry, be happy. I think it's about all the time we got. I was going to talk about something else, but last time I got cut off by my intro music, and I don't want to be a slave to my outro music. It's coming. You can see it. I can't do anything about it. It's like my master. I don't have any control. There's no one in the studio with me doing things, so thanks guys for tuning in. Make sure you follow me on Periscope if you're on Periscope. You can tweet me at dshortenmusic. I'd appreciate any response to some of the topics that we were bringing up today. So at dshortenmusic, on Instagram at davidshortenmusic. Wish it could be the same, but I'm not on the ball. So this will be up on YouTube. It will be on Soundcloud. So if ever you can't listen to the whole thing, don't worry about it. You'll have another chance. This is short and sweet, the second episode. A little less brutal than the first episode. Thank the Lord. So we'll catch you guys next time. Have a lovely weekend.